I was raised to carry weight, not to question why it's mine. Back straight like a fence post, hard locked behind a line. Be the rock, that's what they told me. Be the calm when storms arrive. So I learned to hold the ceiling up and call it being alive. Bills like bricks upon my back, names depending on my pay. Every I got it I ever said took a little more away. I built a life from overtime, from promises I'd keep. Nobody sees the cracks in the pillars when they're deep. Strength can look like silence, like never asking why. But even stone will fracture if it's never allowed to cry. This is a house built on shoulders, on nights that never end, on quiet fears I never showed her, on battles I won't defend. I kept the walls from falling, kept the wolves outside. But who keeps a strong man standing when he's tied inside? My wife says you don't have to hold the sky alone, but I don't know who I am if I'm not the backbone. I measure love and sacrifice, an hour's sweat and strain. But love ain't just provision, it's presence in the pain. My boy asks why I'm working late, why I miss the game again. I said someday you'll understand what it means to be a man. But driving home that empty road, radio playing low, I wondered if I'm teaching him a truth he shouldn't know. Maybe strength is sharing burden, not carrying the load. Maybe courage is admitting when you're lost upon the road. Maybe leadership is softer than the armor I've worn. Maybe real foundations are built where truth is born. This is a house built on shoulders, but shoulders can give way. Even pillars need a moment not to be okay. Legacy of pride, where love feels like a duty and feelings have to hide. So tonight I'll lay the hammer down, let the silence fall apart. Tell them I get scared sometimes, tell them what's in my heart. father learning life. I never needed neon lights to spell out who I am. Just a back porch and a long hard day, and dirt beneath my hands. They say a man's defined by noise, but trophies on a shelf. But mine was built in quieter ways, in a war I fought myself. I've swallowed words like bitter pills, let grudges fade to gray, watch the world reward the loud, while I just learned to stay. Every choice that cost me sleep still echoes in my head. The loudest battles I ever fought were the ones I never said. I want a name carved in quiet, not in headlines or applause. In the way I held my ground without breaking every call. Let it say I stood for truth when bending would have been easier. A name carved deep and quiet, where the strong grow steadier. The world don't clap for patience, don't celebrate restraint, but there's honor in endurance when your spirit feels faint. If legacy is measured by the noise you never made, then let my name be carved in quiet for my children's sake. We were raised on I'm alright, on handshakes firm and jaws held tight, front porch talks that never went deep, promises we couldn't keep. You'd sit there staring at the field like something in him wouldn't yield. I want to ask what weight is mine, but we left those questions behind. Sunday mornings pressing clean, living somewhere in between what we felt and what we'd show, what we feared they'd never know. He taught me how to change a tire, how to stand up in the fire, but not how to admit the truth when the flame is coming from you. There's a language in the quiet, in the pauses in the air, and sometimes what we don't say is heavier than despair. Is the things we never said that echo in my head. All the son, I'm proud of you. All that I was scared to, we buried them instead. Now they live inside my chest. Yeah, the things we never said. The last time that I saw him, hospital light on pale white skin, machines humming soft and low like a hymn we didn't know. I stood there with 1,000 words stacked up behind my teeth, but pride's a stubborn inheritance we carry to our grief. After they laid him in the ground, after the crowd thinned out, I felt the silence settle in, heavy, full of doubt. Not about the love we had that was always there, but love that's never spoken feels thinner in the air. So now when I feel anger rise or feel myself withdraw, I see a shadow in my shape, I see the flaw, and I choose a different ending. And even when it shakes, 'cause breaking generational silence is the bravest step it takes. If it aches, is the things we never said that almost left us dead. All the truths we could have shared, all the times we could have cared out loud instead. I won't pass that weight ahead, not the things we never said. If I ever have a son and he's sitting across from me, I'll tell him when I'm scared, I'll tell him when I'm weak, not to burden him with pain, but to give him something real, 'cause strength ain't silent suffering. It's saying what you feel. Mama said, son, the road don't bend for tears. I learned that truth somewhere between the whiskey and the years. Boots full of gravel, heart full of doubt. Every town I live still calls my name out loud. I've slept in cheap motels with neon buzzing low, where the mirror shows a man I barely know. Got scars like old guitar strings, rusted but tight, still humming broken promises every night. I got dust on my shoes and blood in my veins, carrying truth through the thunder and rain. Every wrong turn carved a line in my face, but I'm still walking, yeah, I'm still in this race. Life's been a long road I can't outrun, but I ain't done. No, I ain't done. Met the devil at a crossroads, past midnight. He said, boy, you can shine, but it won't come cheap, right? I laughed with a voice like gravel and smoke. Said, I've been paying my dues since the day I woke. There's a shadow that follows wherever I stand, like a dead eye owe to a younger man. If redemption's a train, I miss my ride, but I'll keep walking these tracks with my pride. I got dust on my shoes and blood in my veins, carrying truth through the sorrow and pain. Every heartbreak left a mark on my soul, but it built this fire that won't grow cold. Life's been a long road I can't outrun, but I ain't done. No, I ain't done. When they lay me down beneath that stone, say he walked through hell, but he walked alone, with dust on his shoes and a heart of stone. I've worn my guard like a uniform, pressed and sharp each day. Polished boots, controlled tone, kept the tremble far away. Every room I walked into, I measured like a fight, scanning for the danger, even in the light. I called it being careful, called it being wise, but underneath that discipline was fear I'd never size. You can build 1,000 boundaries, stack them tall and hard, but somewhere in the building you forget why you were scarred. It ain't the punches that exhaust you, it's bracing for the blow. It ain't the fall that breaks a man, it's never letting go. It was the day I lowered my guard that I finally felt the weight, not of the world against my chest, but a love I'd kept away. I thought defense was strength, thought distance made me smart, but it was the day I lowered my guard that I opened up my heart. She said you don't have to win every unseen war. I didn't know how to answer, I've never stood down before. I've always been the steady one, the anchor in the storm, but anchors sink if they don't learn. They were meant to transform. My boy reached for my callous hand, didn't see a shield or wall, just saw a man he trusted not to let him fall. And in that small unguarded grip, I felt something shift inside. Strength ain't keeping people out, it's standing without the pride. Maybe armor has a season, maybe walls have time, maybe healing starts the moment you admit you're not fine. Maybe courage ain't the battlefield where you prove you're tough. Maybe it's the quiet choice to say I've had enough. It was the day I lowered my guard that I stood the tallest yet. Not because I fear no wound, but because I face regret. I'll let the truth come forward without a mask or card. Yeah, I became a stronger man the day I lowered my guard. So if you see me softer now, don't mistake it for defeat. I'm still steady as a freight train, just no longer incomplete. And if strength is measured honestly, not by how you spar, then I found my truest power the day I lowered my guard. I used to think strong meant silent, teeth clenched, eyes dry, standing tall in every storm, never asking why. But I've seen men collapse inside while looking bulletproof. Strength without reflection, ain't the same as truth. I've carried pride like sacred ground, protected it from harm. But pride don't hold you at night the way an open heart can warm. There's a bravery and softness that I've never understood. Turns out letting people in feels stronger than it should. Stone. It's telling someone I was wrong, and not standing alone. It's choosing love over ego, even when it feels long. Yeah, this is a different kind of strong. If my son asks what strength is, I won't point to scars I've won. I'll show him how to speak his heart. That's how real men are born. I was born on a Sunday morning under a sky that looked half broken. Mama said, boy, the world won't warm you before it leaves your spirit smoking. Daddy's hands were hard as iron, voice like thunder in a tin-roof rain. He said, stand tall when the fire comes, but never showed me how to handle pain. "17 with a restless hunger, chasing highways with a borrowed name. Every town felt 6 feet under, every victory tasted the same. Cheap motels and colder pillows, neon lights and unpaid dues. I shook hands with men in shadow, learned how quick a dream can bruise. You don't see the cracks at first, they hide beneath your grin, but every loss leaves a little smoke settling under your skin. From all the wars I never win, I carried quiet deep within, like a scar that won't give in. Life don't break you loud and clean, it burns slow where you've been. Yeah, there's smoke beneath the skin. Like freedom in the dark, said I was too full of goodbye, too much night inside my heart. She left one note on the kitchen table, said you fight ghosts I cannot see. I watch the taillights fade to nothing, like the best parts of me. Now I sit with a glass of bourbon, watching silence fill the room. Every mirror tells the truth, every truth feels like a wound. If redemption's just a story, I'm still reading every line, trying to turn this weight of mine into something that can shine. There's smoke beneath the skin, from every place I've ever been, from almost every win, every never again. But I'm still breathing through the sting, still standing in the wind, with smoke beneath the skin. Ground someday, don't wash the ash away. It's proof I live, it's proof I stayed through every flame. I never gave in, just carried the smoke. skin. Build my faith in parking lots, under flickering motel lights. Pray to a sky the color of rust, through long insomnia at night. Every dollar that I ever made had a fingerprint of doubt. Every promise I ever swore had a back door out. I learned to kneel in silence, not in churches made of stone, but in the cab of a pickup truck, where regret feels most at home. The dashboard glowed like a dying star, radio humming low, singing songs about better men I used to think I'd known. You don't lose yourself all at once, it's a slow and sacred thing. Piece at a time, to pride and time, till there's barely something left. This cathedral of dust I've made, brick by brick from plans that frayed. No stained glass, no choir above, just cracked belief and stubborn love. I stand inside what I became, not asking mercy, not shifting blame in my cathedral. Love like a man half drowning, gripping tight, afraid to sink. She said you fight the world so hard, you never stop to think. I thought protection meant control, thought silence meant I'm strong. Turns out guarding every wound is how you build it wrong. I've seen success with polished shoes step over broken back, seen boys turn into hollow men, chasing what they lack. And I ain't innocent of that. I've traded peace for pride, built walls so tall around my heart, even truth couldn't get inside. But dust remembers everything, every fall, every stand. It settles on the photographs, on the calluses of a man. If grace exists, it's probably quiet, not loud or dressed in white. Maybe it's just the courage to look at yourself at night. This cathedral of dust I own, erased from flesh and blood and bone. Every scar a window pane, every loss a drop of rain. I don't need to be reborn, just need to face each coming storm inside this cathedral of dust. So let the wind come howling, let it shake these fragile walls. If they fall, they fall honest. No more sacred protocol. I was never built for heaven, just for standing when it's tough. And if faith is simply staying, and staying is enough. It was a Tuesday, nothing special. Rain tapping on the tin, boots by the door, jacket on the chair. Same routine I'm living in. But something in the quiet didn't feel the same as before. Like the walls were tired of holding all the things I can't ignore. I've been the calm in every crisis, the steady voice in every fall, the one who says don't worry, like I don't feel it all. I built a reputation on never letting slip, but even iron fingers eventually lose their grip. There's a difference between control and being truly strong. One keeps a mask in place, the other says when it's wrong. It was the night I stopped pretending I was made of stone, the night I let the silence finally be known. No more I got it, no more standing tall alone. Yeah, there was a night I stopped pretending I was strong. She looked at me across the table, saw something in my face. Not anger, not frustration, just a man out of place. I said I'm tired of carrying what I don't even name, and for the first time in a long while, I didn't feel ashamed. My son was down the hallway, laughing in his sleep, and I thought about the lessons I unconsciously keep. Do I teach them that real courage is never letting go? Or do I show him strength is saying what you know? Maybe freedom starts where pride begins to crack. Maybe healing's found when you stop holding back. Maybe the bravest words a man can ever say. I don't have the answers, but I'm learning anyway. It was a night I stopped pretending I didn't feel the weight. Stop confusing silence with control and faith. I let the truth come forward without a shield or tone. Yeah, that was the night I stopped pretending I was stoned. Kept falling steady, but something felt brand new. Not lighter, not perfect, just honest through and through. And the strength is built on truth, not just endurance shown. Then that was a night I finally came home.